40 meters down in a lake in eastern China, a diver reaches out and touches the face of a stone lion. It hasn't felt sunlight in over 40 years. Behind it, a wall, a gateway, a street, an entire city sitting in the dark, perfectly still. The year is 2001. The divers came from a club in Beijing, looking for nothing in particular, and found a city that every map had quietly given up on. The wooden beams are still standing, the carved arches intact, the guardian lions exactly where someone left them. It looks like the people stepped out an hour ago. They didn't. They walked out in 1959, and they were never allowed back. This city wasn't lost. It was drowned on purpose. And the strangest part is this: the way it went under is the only reason any of it is still here. To understand that, you have to meet the people who lived inside these walls. On the last ordinary afternoon they would ever have. They walked out and were never allowed back. Would you have left or refused to go? Tell me below. To understand what's down there, you have to go back a long way. They called it Shicheng, Lion City, named for the mountain that stood guard above it. Wuxi, Five Lion Mountain. It was already old when most of the world's capitals were young. Its roots ran back to the age of the Han, and for more than 1,300 years, families had lived inside these walls. The same streets, the same courtyards, the same names carved above the same doors. 5 gates, where most cities had 4. 265 stone archways. Their carved lions and dragons worn smooth by generations of hands. And at the main gate, the great stone lions themselves. A man carved them. He learned it from his father, who learned it from his. His daughter liked to trace the stone manes with her fingers while he worked. Market day filled the main street twice a week. Salt fish and silk, tea down from the hills, a sweet stall the children circled like swallows. In autumn, the slopes above turned gold, and the smell of the tea harvest drifted down into the lanes. The year had a rhythm, and that rhythm had not changed in living memory or in 10 lifetimes before it. Everyone knew the carver. His lions watched over weddings and funerals, over every soul that ever passed beneath that gate. And twice a year, the whole city poured out for the festivals. Lanterns on every arch, drums at the gate, the children tying red ribbons around the lions' necks. This was not a monument, it was a home. It was Tuesday afternoons and cooking smoke and a grandmother who had never lived anywhere else. For 1,300 years, nothing here had to change. Then in 1959, change arrived on a single sheet of paper. The new government needed power for a growing country. Downriver, the city of Hangzhou was swelling, hungry for electricity, and the Shinhan River would give it. Behind the first dam in China ever built higher than 100 meters, a wall of concrete that would turn an entire valley into a reservoir. And Lion City was not even the oldest in its path. Downstream stood Heicheng, older still, a city of the Han, the ancient heart of the county. The water would take them both. The numbers are almost impossible to feel. 2 ancient cities, 27 towns, 1,377 villages, nearly 50,000 acres of farmland, and 290,000 people, told to leave the only ground their families had ever known. Some carried their ancestors' name tablets up to higher ground. The graves themselves, they had to leave to the water. And the new life they were promised mostly never came. Many were settled on thinner soil and slipped into a poverty the government itself would later call absolute. Lion City sat farther up the valley, farther from the dam. So word came that the water would take longer to reach them. There was time, they were told, time to pack, time to carry out what mattered. Some things you can carry: a grandmother's name for every room, a father's lions carved into the gate. Those you leave. He pressed his hand to the stone one last time, but the water did not keep to the schedule. It rose faster than anyone in Lion City had been promised. A city that had been told it would have time discovered it had almost none. There was no time now, no time for the heavy things, the furniture, the carved beds, the doors off their hinges. People grabbed what was in their arms and went. Boats ferried them out across the rising water through the night, lamps strung along the gunwales, the old people facing backward toward the dark shape of the gate. They walked out and left their homes standing, fully furnished, as if they were only gone for the afternoon. And then the valley filled. The streets went under. The courtyards, the white stone arches, the ancestral hall, the family table, the incense still in its dish. Last of all, the gate, and the two lions watching the surface close over them like a held breath. 290,000 people stood on the new shore and watched a 1,300-year-old home become a lake. By the next spring, there was no valley at all, only water, and 1,000 new islands where the hilltops used to be. They gave the lake a name for them, Qiandao, the 1,000 Islands. Fishing boats drifted over streets no one could see, and children who would never know the city swam in the warm, bright water above it, with no idea what was holding its breath in the dark below. Here is the strange mercy of it. The haste that broke their hearts is the reason any of it survived. They left so fast that they left the city whole, and then the lake sealed it away. No sun to bleach the wood, no wind, no rain, no rot. Water so still and so clean that almost nothing will grow in it. Down there, time simply stopped. So when the divers came in 2001, they weren't swimming through a ruin. They were swimming through a Tuesday afternoon, held for over 40 years in the dark. The beams a family lived under, the hall where a grandmother lit incense, and the lions, still at the gate, still watching, exactly where a father left his hand. Today it's a protected relic. They've dreamed up ways to bring people down to see it. A tourist submarine was even built for the lake and never made the dive. For now, the only way in is the way the divers found it. A torch, a tank, and the dark. They never moved the city. They just lowered a lake over it, and it's still down there. All of it. Waiting in the cold, clean dark for the next light to find its face. The next light came in the spring of 2001. It came on the headlamps of a diving club from Beijing, a handful of recreational divers drawn by an old rumor. The villagers who had been moved out and their children had never quite stopped talking about what was down there, beneath the green water of Qiandao Lake. They were not archaeologists. They were not looking for history. They came the way anyone comes to a deep, quiet lake, to see what the dark was hiding. The lake does not give up its secrets easily. At the surface, the water is bright and warm, but below 30 meters it turns cold and black and still. A world with no horizon, no sound but your own breathing, no way to know what the next meter holds. And then, in that dark, a gloved hand reached out and touched a wall. Not a rock, a wall, dressed stone, squared and set by human hands, rising out of the silt into the beam of a single torch. They followed it. The wall became a gateway. The gateway became a street. And the street ran on into the black, further than any light could reach. There was a city down there, whole, silent, waiting exactly where it had been left. You can imagine the moment a diver first understood what they were swimming through. Not a wreck, not a ruin, a home, hundreds of homes, with the roofs still on. In the years since, divers have gone back again and again, mapping it street by street the way you might explore a sunken ship. Except this is no ship. It is a county seat, 5 gates, 265 carved stone archways, temples and shops and family courtyards, their wooden beams still holding up roofs no one has stood beneath in half a century. The guardian lions still sit at the main gate, their manes as sharp as the day they were cut. Behind them, the carved dragons and phoenixes on the archways have not lost a single line, and Lion City is not even alone down there. Somewhere across the dark water lies Heechung, the older city, the one from the age of the Han, drowned on the same day, waiting in the same silence. Nothing about any of it should have lasted. Wood does not survive underwater. Carvings wear away. Cities fall. But these were sealed so gently and so completely. No sunlight, no current, no air, in water so clean that almost nothing can grow. That Lion City has become something very few places on Earth can claim. One of the most complete ancient cities ever found beneath the water. A whole world paused, not ruined, paused. And this is what the divers' lights keep finding. Half a century on, a table still set, a doorway still framed, a shrine where a grandmother once lit her incense, A street where a stone carver once walked his daughter past the lions he had cut with his own hands. The people who left did not lose Lion City. In their hurry and their heartbreak, they did something they never meant to do. They saved it. They left so fast and so whole that they handed an entire ordinary afternoon down to the future. Every street, every doorway, every quiet room, untouched, waiting in the cold, clean dark. The lake did not bury a city, it kept one, and it is keeping it still. Every carved lion, every silent street, every door left standing open, for every light still to come. Up next, Egypt's city that vanished for 1,000 years, and the 5-meter god a diver found on the seabed. Level off.